It's very nice. Oh. And I thought.
So you got a friend? What's that mean? Well, it's, they don't leave much. Right, it is, and. I think that's a. So, there comes like days, the old days, or, yeah, it's.
These ones are so low, they not? I don't think so. Usually it's at.
Yeah,
And they're all like different heights too, I thought.
this.
I don't know. Yeah, I think they're saving underneath, it's like, I think mine was. Or do they cement? Oh.
He has, with part of,
Maybe get a photo of this.
that viruses. Right, they just redid, there's a whole. They were recently, that's supposed to keep, the other things.
Started. Welcome to July 20th, 2026 zoning board of appeals. We have 4 applications. We will hear the first 2 in the order they appear on the agenda. The second one will be flipped between, we'll start with the class B area variance. Well, we're gonna start with Bob.
Yep.
Come on up.
Yeah, you want to know.
Looks like you're expanding your driveway. You're widening it in the front along by the garage and then along the side as well.
Yes.
Do you wanna tell us a little more about why you're doing that?
Yep. In the winter time, I don't use my truck that often, and I park it any time I like. Right now it's garbage. So all that sort of way. The fence is on the property line. Yes, it's for the end of the fence on the property. I just wanted to, since I already parked the truck there. I just wanted to pave it. So it's easier to clean the snow, it's not gonna be muddy in the springtime. And. But I already parked it. All right. Now over here. Where I wanted to widen. Driveway from here to the corner of the driveway. You can't really see it, but. There's a trip hazard right there. And I wanted to take care of that. My wife is 84 years old. And she's already fallen twice this year, and I just trying to make it so. It's gonna be nice and smooth, easy to clear the driveway, and when she opens her, that's her car. In the driveway, when she opens it, it's not gonna be opened on the grass. Where I can't really clear snow as well, and I'll be able to clear snow much better if it's me.
Okay. So you're not planning on parking in that area,
No, that's more just for
like a walkway?
opening the door, getting out and walking.
Okay.
No, so we're not parking anything over there, and I do have another car that's not in the picture, so
Okay.
we got 3 vehicles.
All right. I'm gonna open
And I
questions.
did talk to my neighbor. And he don't do it,
Good.
so. He says, they do it the one, just not mine.
So the way it's marked, the way you have it laid out, it goes, you're gonna pave right to the property line, and it's 12 feet.
Yes.
Do you think you could park your truck in 10 feet? And leave at least some space between the pavement and the property line?
Possibly. I mean, I'm gonna park the truck there, I'm not parking the cars.
Right.
Okay, because we use the cars even through the winter, so. I could probably get away with 10 or 11 feet, yeah. But I was just trying to make it look neat right up against the fence line.
Well, the code requires 3 feet, so.
And then what you record. That's why I'm here.
Well, any other questions from the board?
How? So you're looking for 34 feet of pavement going back to the fence. How long is your truck?
Full size pickup.
And just asking, you had mentioned the tripping hazard with your wife, and I completely understand that.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. Right here. And here,
Because she parks her car on that side.
that's where she parks the car.
Is there any way of swapping where she parks with the other vehicle? To have her park on the other side?
Yeah, I mean, there is, but then you're opening the door into the other vehicle that's on the driveway.
Kyle, how far, for the one on the left, how far out, at what point does it infringe on the code? Like if we trimmed it down a little bit?
We've allowed. The paving to be as wide as the garage door.
Okay,
It's 12 feet as it is, but if that garage door is a little wider than that. Then we will allow that.
If that was classified as a walkway, would it make any difference?
That's the man door going into the garage. Below the roofs.
Right.
There is no other walkway to the road, is there, from
Yeah.
the?
And I wasn't looking to widen the driveway front end, just, bring it down.
How does the mailman get to the mailbox?
He walks from. Walks in from.
Does he have to walk on the grass?
The mailbox is right here, I mean, he does it.
Do they have to walk on the
He walks
grass?
across the front lawn, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, my house too.
any other thoughts?
I guess just it's kind of picayune, I guess, but you could. So if you, where your wife's vehicle is parked. If you, pave that area there instead of all the way to the. To the curb cut, would that be sufficient? In other words, sort of make it essentially a walkway.
With lumber. I mean. Try to keep my house very nice, neat.
Uh-huh.
I don't like the way it is right now, that's for sure. That's why I want to fix it.
All right, well, I'm gonna, if there's no other questions or comments on the board, I'm gonna open it up to the public. Is there anyone here who would like to make any statements, questions? Right, I'm gonna close the public comment section. Take a look at the short environmental assessment form. A motion?
I'll make a motion, for appeal number 2423, that we, after review of the short environmental assessment form, that the chair finds little or no impact. And check the little and small or no or small impact made for, through 11 other states. Two, unsigned. I'll second. Better than motion.
All in favor?
I,
I have to ask you a question. So. As a board, you can have a seat if you want to, that's normally what people do, have a seat at the table, just your option. If we, so our job is to, make sure that the city zoning is being upheld. And, when we make changes to certain things, we set precedent sometimes, if we haven't done it in the past. We always kind of approach things as reluctant to make change unless we find that the need is really significant or significant enough to make the change. Putting a paved area that's 34.5 feet long right on your property line is a pretty, in my opinion, it's a lot. If we were to offer you, if we voted right now and the vote was no, you wouldn't be able to come back for a period of time. Would you be willing to adjust your plans and get a little bit further away from that boundary line with that 34 foot? Like Mr. Like him was saying.
Art's fine.
Sorry.
It's a tough name.
I feel like if we can accommodate you being able to put your truck there and get you a little bit further away from the boundary line, I think that would be more palatable. It's up to you, we can do the vote.
Can it go back to the fence line?
To the back fence line?
No,
Oh.
to the front fence. You see, I've got a little side shed there,
Mhm.
okay, that I'd like to get at least that far with the driveway.
Can you share with us why you wanna go that far back? You had said that you wanted to park your truck there on the side there,
In the winter time,
right?
park my truck there. In the summertime, I used to shed all the time, that's where the track was.
Is the shed on your drawing here? Is it part of the garage or is it,
No, it's just on the back side of the road.
so it goes back to where the back of the pavement is?
Yeah.
No, oh wait,
Actually, you had a good picture of it there.
Is it attached to the house?
Yeah.
Oh,
And, well, that's, yeah. That's it right there.
So are you looking to have it paved to the end of that shed or just to the door, like to?
Well, I wanted to actually go right to the fence, this is for ease of cutting grass and whatnot, but, if I can't, I'd like it to go at least to the other side of that shed.
So to the edge of
Because one of the problems I have is that I get water that gathers in here from snow melt, and then that water goes under the garage door. Okay, and that's an overhead door, it's not a, and then it kind of floods my shed.
so, I guess, okay, so you have a fence that goes across the back and then along the property. There's no, where you're drawing is the orange here. There's no fence here, is that correct?
right, that's the shed.
I think Joe's trying to get the top picture here.
Is that right, Kyle?
Sorry,
This is where the shed is in this corner?
that's part of the house, yeah, but it's on the shed.
Okay.
Oh, I see the fence there. You can see the fence there. Okay, and
That's a picture of the side of the house
I see.
right now, and there's a fence. And that's the shed right there,
Okay,
okay? Where it's
yeah,
open.
yeah, we can see it, I think, on the overhead.
So the back side of the shed, this door here,
Yeah.
how many feet is that from the fence, do you know?
Maybe 4 feet.
Well, the garage would be the length, a vehicle length, right? So,
Yeah, but the garage is basically the length of the.
And that's essentially where you've been parking the truck.
Right now, I've been parking it, on the grass back in here.
Yeah,
And my thoughts were at first, I was just gonna put in, crushed stone. Because I guess you don't need a variance for crushed stone. But I don't like crushed stone because it gets all over the place, and my neighbor wouldn't like it either, so. That's why I'm trying to go with. Tarmac.
You can't use crushed stone as a parking area anyway. It needs to be big.
I would, so I guess, I'm sorry, go ahead, Kelly.
Right now, if you were to drive your truck forward, see where the edge of the pavement is right there? If you were to drive your truck forward, would you hit the garage or are you, you would, okay. Just wondering how much
Yeah.
over you need.
There's not enough space there.
Okay.
Is your measurement? Are you good with your measurement 12 feet from the edge of the garage to the property line?
Yes. The only reason I know that is because I had surveyed for the fence.
My proposal for a possible motion would be that, that we, allow allow the front part, in front of the door, and restrict the back part to the length of the garage and no closer than 2 feet to the property line.
So 10
But
foot.
then that doesn't cover my shed. Which is,
Oh, I see, because, all right. I would then maybe just allow the back part to within 2 feet of the property line. Does that make sense?
Does.
shouldn't be their problem.
So there'd be a 10 foot width instead of 12. Make a motion.
I make a motion that,
But I can go back to the fence.
yeah, with this motion anyway, if it passes. So this is, I make a motion for, and this is, where are we? 2/24/23, Appeal 24/23, to allow to allow let me get this straight, the variance or for driveway width and for the area between the garage door and the street. I'm gonna see it. We just referenced the drawing.
Yeah, I would,
Yeah, as proposed.
I'd reference Ron. Creating parking in the front yard.
Referencing the drawing accompanying the appeal to allow parking in the front yard as illustrated in the drawing and to allow the side, the paving along the side of the house from the current driveway back to the fence line within, to stay
No
Cool.
closer than.
no closer than 2 feet to the property line. Does that make sense? Sorry about
You got that, Lisa?
that.
You got that, Lisa?
I'll circle.
All in favor?
This is, what was this, 24, 23? It's 720. I guess I.
Right, you have 3 yes votes and 2 no votes. So it goes through. Yep.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
coming in.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Carl,
Yes.
come on up. Look at that hot seat. All right, so you are also widening your driveway a little bit differently. If you wanna tell us a little more about what you're doing?
Yeah, I live in a neighborhood with five houses they built about 15 years ago on Mills. And for some reason, they all was built with less than 12 foot century for the driveway purposes. And what I have on there now is the base coat. And I just, get the piece tracks and I want to put the finish coat on, but when I do that, I want to widen. Anyway, this would be the width of the bus. If you look at the garage, it's, the driveway is across the front of the garage, including the frame. I just want to go straight to the street for that, and it's sort of sketch of the passage. But it's widening the, driveway 7 feet 2 inches at the garage, I just want to make it all the way straight.
So, just to make sure I'm understanding, when you say width of the garage, you don't mean to the edge of the wall, you just mean the width that is at the, like, the driveway already is, correct, the door?
Start with the garage where the driveway is, and just make it straight.
Okay, thank you.
So the width of the garage door, including the frame of the door.
Right. That's what's there now.
Oh, so this work has already been done?
Pardon me?
This work has already been done?
No, I wanna do it. Yeah, you can see it, that picture that I got, I'm gonna sell my Google stock, I think, or you see the picture. If you go up Concord and look down the street, it kind of looks silly, it kind of angles down to the really narrow.
It looks like it's in this.
Yeah, it starts wide and then kind of narrows
Okay.
it closer to the road.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of hard to tell from pictures, but if you see it in person, it's pretty clear.
You can see it a little bit better in that picture, the angle. You know, what's the problem?
Any other questions or comments from the board? Any, opening up public comment, any questions or comments from the public?
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't understand, it's over, you wanted to widen the garage in itself.
Yeah.
Closing public comment. Go look at seeker. And then I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that after reviewing the short environmental assessment form, the chair check. No, it's not impactfully occur. And then check the box and sign.
Second.
All in favor? And I will entertain a motion. Oops.
Make a motion to approve appeal 2424, Class B variance. Request to widen driveway at the street to width of the existing garage door, including the frame.
I'll second.
Got 5 yes votes. Yep, you're all set. Thank you for coming in.
Disappointed in you?
What's that?
I'm disappointed in you. That motion is way too easy for Lisa.
I know, I mean, I think that's. Trying to keep it short and
She's
sweet.
gonna fall asleep down here. All right.
Yeah, let me
James,
make it.
come on up. All right, we're gonna start with your Class B area variance.
I just wanted to disclose that I work with James, but I feel like I'm being partial, but if you don't want me to vote, he has to just tell us now, right?
I trust you.
Okay.
She is a help, you know that, right?
Very trustworthy. Record bias.
All right, why don't you tell us a little bit about your project?
So this is 5,500 Peru Street. This still has, it's very hard to see, but the original decal ornament was a die-cast metal facility in the 1980s owned by Lloyd Archer. From his passing sometime in the early 90s to approximately 8 years. I purchased it from his children, 8 siblings, and moved the property. It's been about 15 years. The bottom portion of it is commercial space, about 33 square feet. The top portion of it is the same square footage. The project is the 5,500 River Street project. This, it's it was entered in October of 25 as a 24. Yeah, I think it's 24 now. As a applicant to the New York grant program, it was approved by the city council in December of that same year. Then the New York State approved it closer to February, March the following year. And they approved it for mixed use, commercial and residential upstairs, because it fulfills the need of more properties for businesses to work, as well as more housing base, which is an dire need apparently in the city. The drawings should be there, was put on by RMS. The residential portion will have twin 3-bedroom bathroom apartments. The commercial, caveats on the actual plan was that we had to make it appealing to businesses. That was it. Yeah.
Lots of detail.
Yeah, lots of detail from here to see. That's what we expected. We had to attract businesses to rent it. So renovating it to where it's modern, the plumbing system, fire sprinkler system, so there's not too much on the commercial aspect because I purposefully kept it open to attract whomever wanted to go in, build a suit. Residential, there's not a lot of places that have space for a family in twin 2,000 square foot apartments would seem nice for a family or folks that can get along in a 3-bedroom unit. That's a pretty good size apartment for it was like a city passed by the city council in New York State through ESD. It's the governing body that looked over all that satisfying.
And
enough.
you're looking to build, to add on new construction, correct,
Yes.
into open space?
You know, where we can go for the building fund. So the grade, the area in the upper right doesn't exist yet. Currently, that is a excavated space. Yet, there are 2 different elevations on the streets. Pike Street is about 14.5 feet taller than Brew Street, which means that if anybody scaled that building, and they can turtle, it's very dangerous that they could potentially fall over the 6 foot tall concrete block that's there. So I'd like to be able to build that up to match the existing height of the property. Both on the commercial side and finance is willing to go all the way up to the residential side to allow for a future 3-bedroom apartment there as well. That's the big lofty plan. Whether or not that can be permitted is subject to finance, and of course, variance. That doesn't exist, that has nothing to do with the satisfaction of the grant is just for the existing property, just kind of a trigger, so. Goal is to make it as best as the property can serve in the long run, because even more housing for that area would be great.
Yep.
It's so close to businesses downtown.
Bruce Street is along the bottom of this drawing, and that's Pike Street at the top.
Correct. So both floors actually have a first floor entrance, which is kind of unique for most properties, or for a property, so there's something.
So you're seeking today, variances that do not include the future.
This drawing was done for everything. Because we wanted to get all possibilities done from RMS simultaneously. The existing structure is the bottom and the side. So that is what I'd like to get solved first and foremost, to make sure that it satisfies the requirements of these parameters. Because we are under a time crunch, because they gave us 2 years after May of 24 to complete. Otherwise, it fails for the city and some people. So
When did the time start ticking?
May of 24, I believe.
And
So you-
Sorry, May of 25.
Okay.
Sweating for you a moment there. but-
Yeah. Thank you.
So, the building of the new construction piece is not,
We have not even received an estimate back yet.
okay, so that's kind of just in the
It's
ether.
a future plan, but
Okay.
what we're asking for is the existing structure as it is now.
Okay,
Just being able to excavate, that's been used as a trash heap for the entire community for 20 years. And we finally cleared it all out, so something with it. I have, like I said, big plans, what I'd like to be able to do with it, but the existing structures, I think, concerned with to satisfy the grant. The grant did not have any caveat about building that portion of the structure. It's just something I would like to do if possible. Either down the road. If I use to allow it.
As you're renovating currently, on the base level with what you want to have commercial, is that partitioned off? Into like different spaces, or is it wide open right now?
It's kind of, if you, I don't know if we can zoom in on bottom portion. It is, that's the new construction. The L in the front, so there's a giant L, the bottom of the L in the front is wide open. Say look at that staircase, the sewing staircases that are the egress to the second floor, egress and egress to the second floor. If you scroll up a little bit, this is currently the upstairs, so it's not residential on the first floor by any means. It's mixed use, true mixed use. The bottom portion of it is all wide open except for a mechanical room where our electricity enters. That now has disconnects from the city that we got that we had installed from Mr. Electric simply.
So that's gonna be 1 3-bedroom apartment
On the second,
on the second floor, and on the first floor.
there's a firewall that exists here between the two. Then this is just a egress corridor that would be shared in emergency situations so that they could access another egress. There are 1, 2, 3 means of egress for this front apartment. And 1, 2 plus windows on the front of egress on the bottom apartment.
So right now, the This is the second floor?
Yes. The first floor has none of those walls on it, it's the same foot. Walls all the way.
So to be clear, currently, the downstairs is wide open except for the maintenance room, and the upstairs is just apartments.
And this wall here is a concrete block wall.
Okay. And going forward, you're not building any apartments on the bottom floor, it's
No.
all gonna be.
It's meant for mixed use.
So the entrance, what's the main entrance to the second floor?
They're on Pike Street, when you scroll up. On Pike Street, there's a door right here, as well as a door right here, so there's twin egress, this is a 4 foot, this is a 3 foot door. There, with a staircase that leads up to both. There is this emergency exit, a little bit further down. There's this emergency exit to get to the commercial space if needed, and then there's also a walk up for this front apartment here.
So it's not dependent on that stairway in the new construction. So the current code. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but the current code right now would require 6 parking spaces.
I believe that is what it says, and my argument. To be argumentative, but my argument to that is that every building on Bike Street is a residence and only one of them actually provides parking. Everything else is street parking. There's street parking from Hamilton all the way down to almost the lake. Same thing on Macomb. There's also 7 spaces in front on Peru Street near the walk-up entrance in front of this. So there's 4 spaces directly behind the building that have been shared between myself and my neighbor over the past 15 years. But every other residence that's on that street does not provide off-street parking. So
Would you anticipate issues with G&G in terms of the street parking?
Robin had a relationship, kind of for 15
Yeah.
years, but no, we've always shared a little bit of space that I have in front of my garage. If he has to park the vehicle there momentarily, even though it's not parking space, I don't.
But you would be using those for your apartments?
Not in the parking spaces necessarily. G&G usually has a lot of,
Yeah.
a lot of vehicles to repair. They usually occupy a little bit everywhere. And they also have parking spaces that are allowed across the street. We haven't run into any issue in the past. But that's not. No, I haven't rented to 3 to 6 people pass on that stuff. Yeah, there are other residences nearby on the opposite side of the street on Bruce Street that have also do not provide parking. They're small homes. So this building is also within 500, 500 and 700 feet from the 3 municipal lots that are nearby. One of them is across the regular, there's the Bridge Street parking lot, the parking lot near Guy Way, it's a little bit up across from Campus Corner, this is the one you need to turtle. That's a bit of a haul, you have groceries, but there are public parking nearby, that wouldn't be a complete burden for someone, but there's also off-street parking on almost every single street around that area.
We had talked in a pre-meeting about, the possibility, if you're open to it, of using that first floor space for parking. And then later approaching for a variance to stop using it and basically do what you're planning on doing on that floor.
Right, you'd be able to park one vehicle there, and that's about it.
Oh,
Because there are load bearing wally columns here, here, and here. So you wouldn't be able to maneuver vehicles in there. This is, well, looking at the second. If we look at the first floor, there's a garage door to enter that space that was recently excavated in the back. There'd be no way to access that space if you had parking right there. And that would severely limit what you could bring in as a tenant commercially, because if their space was. Occupied by somebody that lived upstairs, but driving right into their place of business. then
No.
probably
It,
that's-
it's been suggested that the proposed zoning. The proposed new zoning code that is before the city council, but has not yet been passed. Would classify this as central business district. Which would not require the parking issue. You could go to one of their meetings and plead with them at the open session to get that zoning passed if, because it could possibly make, projects like yours much more doable, without having to go through the variance process. I mean, my personal feeling is that the parking issue is a major issue for this project as it's written. The parking issues that you referenced in terms of the other buildings around there, were way before those, those residences were built long before the current code was in place, so they were pre-code. And making a variance like this for new construction would make it difficult, could make a difficult precedent for us going forward with other projects. Even given that the new code, which is not yet passed and possibly may not pass. In other words, if we were to grant a variance for 6 parking spaces, and the new code does not pass, that could put us in a difficult situation.
To pose an alternative, I know you said that the new addition piece that you'd be building is kind of in theory at this point. So what if we looked at this more as what you have currently in place, which would only require 4 parking spots because it's only 2 units. Is that right, Kyle? So that makes the variance less intense for us to consider, which because if you want us to vote on this today and it doesn't pass, then you have to wait a full year.
I would ask the board where they propose that I put those parking spaces.
So what I'm saying is that variance, we could potentially look at this as a variance saying it with those the 4 parking spots, ignoring those would be much less of an ask than asking us to ignore 6. Does that make sense? So I'm not saying that you need to come up with 4. I'm saying, what if,
With that,
yes, instead of looking at this with the addition, what if we look at this at what you have currently? Because the addition's just in theory at this
right,
point.
so that addition being a 3rd apartment, again, it's lawful. It's not in the cards as it were as of right now, because I don't even have estimates for the building. And it doesn't necessarily have to be residential. If that opens up to become something commercial, that's fine as well. It may just be cold storage. Well,
Can you put parking in that open space?
I'd have to build a structure 14 feet into the air that could withstand a car several. Guys, we're there, feasibility of that? I don't think so. And even if we did it, you would not be able to fit parking spaces the way that the parking spaces are required dimensionally, even on angles. Because I did try to fit angle parking in there, I think you could fit one. To be able to turn around to get back onto the street, plus you would be eliminating I don't know if you can see it on any of our drawings. Could you scroll up a bit? You would be eliminating 1, 2, 3 parking spaces from the street, right above it, if we did that, because that's where the neighbor parks are. So they try to find other places. So logically, I think that's not really be able to do that, to build up a parking structure up to that.
Just
Just
like,
a side note, I want to just say that my daughter lives very close to that building. Her and her husband have vehicles and they never have a problem finding parking. They do not have enough parking really where they are. I think they do technically, but it's always filled, and so they're always looking for on-street parking, and it's never an issue. Especially on the Pike Street side, you know, down by G&G, it can be a little congested when he's open. But I do agree with Ellie that, we should remember that we are considering only the 2 apartments right now. And so that does. mean
That's it.
only-
That's what how he wants to proceed. If he
I
wants.
thought that's what you said
That
that,
is correct.
yeah,
Because that third apartment does not exist. If that is moving from the board, the voting board, I will reconsider the third space completely. It's potential that I just expand the commercial space and do something like a garden or whatever for the folks outside. That's
so
the-
technically you need to tell us. We aren't
I would
telling
like
you,
4 spaces.
Well, so that's just for residential, do we need to consider spaces for commercial?
So that
Or-
depends on what's going in there, right?
Right.
So right now, it's not really being used for use, per se.
Nothing at all.
So if it's not being used for use, again, in the future, come back for another variance, or if the new zoning passes, then you'd be relieved of that. That burden to provide.
So let's say we approve it and then he has a tenant that requires 2 spots,
For
what happens there?
He'd have to come back for a variance for
Each
2
tenant,
more spots
okay,
for that commercial space.
It does depend on the use of the commercial.
It does, yeah.
I cannot predict what that would be. It'd be impossible for me to say what that exact use is going to be, so you do it.
my assumption would be whatever tenant wouldn't be all that concerned about parking spaces, given where it is in the nature of that area. Right, they're not gonna be like any 10 spots, right,
And that-
it's more of a walk.
If they're the commercial tenant, they could park 1, possibly 2 vehicles inside the garage, because there is a 12-foot tall, 10-foot wide garage door. That they could park inside if they needed. I don't know if that part of the code. That's a customer or something like that, or if it's just able to park inside or off street. Or-
So depending on the use.
Right, so something. If it limits the type of business that I have to attract, then that's. What it is as well.
Well, and the way that it would be, if we vote on this today, we could look at it as the 2 units, you know, as it exists, instead of the theoretical, the 2 units with the 4 parking spaces. And then, like Kyle said, if you get a commercial tenant in there that requires extra parking spaces, you would just need to come back for a
Sure.
new variance for the commercial space. I would like to see plans that show, I guess, not the theoretical, but what you're actually going to do, I guess, kind of under the grant, without the,
So the grant is to renovate the upstairs into the apartments. And to beautify the exterior and interior of the. So that is the sole purpose of the third space, as it were. That is all theoretical extra if I can get it done. That was not requirement or necessarily part of the grant. It would just be nice to get it all done at the same time. But if I have to do the stance again, so be it.
I think you might have to.
So the grant clock started ticking May 2025, so you have till next May to complete the construction or spend all the funds or.
Complete the construction up
Okay.
to, I think I can begin the. Process to collect reimbursement, because it is a reimbursement. Start the process with ESD to prove that all materials have been purchased and 90%, whatever the percentage has to be to complete. It has to be done within that 2-year zone to apply for that reimbursement, so.
Okay.
Do we have any public comments or questions?
What about the parking up on the coast?
street that's that huge apartment building, like so much parking like that. If that's private, you can.
Yeah.
Or if that one, you can, like get some apartment building there or something.
It depends on when
They
they're,
use it, it's full.
when their vacancy is full, sometimes it has 2 to 3 folks. I think there's some folks that may not vehicles currently. Public transportation is relatively close, so there are a lot of folks that live down there that have worked downtown, park on the street, park at public parking. It doesn't necessarily satisfy the code, but like you said, there are a lot of places to park, especially in the park of Pike Street. Peru would be more difficult to want to satisfy that logic, but there are 7 spaces directly in front of Peru and the John from Bridge Street parking to that street is less than close, so.
Just a quick question. So the space,
Just wanted, is,
I'm sorry.
we good with public comment? Do you have any additional? I'm just gonna close. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go right ahead. Yeah.
Bridge Street parking, you talk about. Oh, there,
Yeah.
oh, okay. That's not the Bridge Street like across from, is that the?
Cherokee Street parking, yeah.
There's a opportunity to, right next to the city, there's a right place to now.
Yeah, so
Not
that-
parking.
that's also, what is that block? Is that Bridge Street?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's part of the old DNH building, that's all part of that property.
So that's not public park,
No.
no.
But is there any way you're gonna go easement just for people to satisfy your parking requirement?
Not through zoning, that's, unless he doesn't know, if he owned a property close. There's a way to allow parking on another property, but.
It's true.
All right, I'm gonna close the public comment section.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good, Kim.
Just be clear, the apartment that we're looking at right now, the space below that on the first floor is open?
Correct.
Okay, and it's gonna stay open for now?
I'd say there is a supporting wall here that is potentially load bearing, but I don't care.
I guess I should say empty. It's
That
there,
this one's load bearing. So,
but there's nothing in it right now and no plan right now.
the plan is to sheathe the walls, continue to put a commercial electric into it. The fire sprinkler system is
Mhm.
something that we just had finally plans drawn up for, the hydraulic calculations took a little bit to get it, and now we're working with DPW to see which side of the street we can tap into for that fire sprinkler system, so.
And then the open spot where where you're planning on construction is excavated for for a basement?
Yeah, it's ready for a foundation, which might be the only thing that we end up doing with it.
And that right now is below grade level by,
It's currently, it's maybe 6 inches below the Portland concrete of this, but
Okay.
it is worth, that's it,
all right.
because it was mattresses, shipping weeks. We don't have any more.
And the retaining wall is,
Yeah, this is a retaining wall currently that butts up against the neighbor's property and then the city sidewalk on the back. There's a 6-foot log wall that prevents definitely injury from anyone coming,
but you can't put parking there, you said.
because it's about 14 feet down
Oh,
before it hits the
Oh.
elevation Pike Street. So they could.
Is
park,
Pike
but
Street, is
that's
that far
what they
above?
did.
Pike Street's that far above Peru?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, this is a very unique property in that the two have close to, street level on both entrances on both floors, so.
Oh, I didn't realize it was
It's
that.
accessible, but at the same time.
Wow.
Now,
Yeah.
They're both far.
if Kyle, if we look at this as what's existing instead of the new construction piece, will the lot deficiencies, does that apply because it's existing?
No, I don't think so, I think.
Yeah, like jargon bus, what does that mean, lot deficiency?
Yeah, like, if you were to build the addition part in this district, in the B1 district, you'd be required to have, the maximum coverage is 40%, and you would have been down to 0. And the open space is supposed to be 40%, I believe, also, because I don't know, they're off the top of my head, but, you'd be down to 0, so that would create those deficiencies.
Okay.
So the only deficiency I think we're looking at, because since it is a existing lot, would be the parking.
Okay,
Um,
that seems a lot more feasible too, so
And it-
just looking at it that way.
I'm gonna say that's true because in the B table. It gives all permitted uses and. Residential is permitted, so all those other things, it's not changing to a use that's not allowed. Or a different use, I'd say. I say you're fine. Because. You're at. 67% coverage right now. 40 is the max, and that's not changing, it's an existing use. 32.5% open. And only 15s is required, so it won't be coverage. But we should do that.
And coverage would be existing, nothing changing, correct?
Right.
Okay.
I have a wacky idea. Would it be possible to drive through off of Peru Street into that? And
Not without interrupting your commercial entity that operates.
okay,
It's right in the middle. There, so. There's space.
So I am going to review the short environmental assessment form. Or is it short?
I make a motion that for appeal 2426. After review of the short environmental assessment form. That we find no or small impact, and the chair, I check boxes 1 through 11 and sign on front 3. Second.
All in favor?
I had to.
So.
Make a motion that for appeal 2426. That we approve for the 4 parking space deficiency. That will occur by granting the Class B area variance request for the 2 existing apartments located at 5500 First.
For a second. Got 4 yes votes and 1 no vote. So that one, you are good to go. And if you do decide to just build that extra piece down the road, you'll just need to come back for that. And maybe by then the new code will have passed and you won't need to come back at all.
But then it would be so much fun.
Yeah. All right, so now to the special use permit. I think we've probably talked about
Yeah.
pretty much all of this already,
Still that first.
Thank you, especially.
if we-
There's deficiencies.
So this is a long environment for a full environmental assessment form. I will. I think on question B, C, it should say zoning board of appeals. It's a little hard for me to read, so it might say that, just be patchy. And then the code enforcement office as well should be included there. Probably need to be. Otherwise, I will take a motion for the full environmental assessment form.
I will make a motion. The after reviews of local environmental assessment for 24-25. Where we have those.
Sign it, no worries.
Sign it, yeah, no. Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now I'm looking for a motion for the special use permit. And a reminder, this is for the 2 units, not 3.
We need to-
Oh, good. Yeah,
Guys, can we put this one on hold?
Yep.
Can we reopen the last one? We just both done?
yeah,
All we really need to do is add a caveat. About the non-dwelling structure being converted. Remember, we've had that non-dwelling unit being converted, that has to be in. The motion as well. That was part of the variance
okay.
that.
What is the statement that you?
Conversion of non-dwelling structures.
Oh,
There's a section that I think we talked about it at one point, with you, and I said, any non-dwelling structure. That wasn't intended for residential use, when it was constructed. Needs to go through the zoning process, and that. Everything we just did is fine, except we need to add that set, that. So we need to just add that statement into the, and then probably have to revote.
Okay.
So sorry about that, I don't miss that.
Thank you for letting us know. I might
If I didn't
need
catch it,
another.
it's good that you did catch it.
so we basically just need to say that the existing non-residential space on the first floor could not be converted into residential.
It would be allowing the class B area variance
We're
request.
gonna have to. Alright,
Isn't that a given that if he wanted to do something with that?
no, he needs to, the lot needs to comply. All the area. Other area deficiencies. So we're gonna have to go through all the variances, so if you wanna proceed with the other one.
We did last time. I don't think we did last time. I think it was just cited that one
I
side.
think it was, yeah, I think it was a little different situation.
I don't remember what it was.
So I think that I did go through the stuff, so let me, we want to proceed with this one. Let me figure out what the differences are real quick. Try not to need me.
Proceed with the special use permit?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then we'll. Go back to that after, I just gotta go through those stupid here.
Okay. I'm looking for a motion for appeal 24-25. Oh, yes, sorry, thank you. Any public comment for appeal 24-25? Okay.
But, no.
What's closing public comment? Now I'm looking for a motion for 24-25.
I'll make a motion for appeal 24-25 to approve for the special use permit request to allow residential. Rental units, on the. Top floor. Of 5500 Peru Street. To. Be in line with the plans currently for just the 2 apartments that are existing.
Second? We got 5 yes votes for that one.
So, what, we can open the other one back up.
Yep.
We were just looking at. Coverage, we put here at setback. Coverage max is 40%, they're at 67.5. And the front yard setback's 20 and they're at 0. Which again would be fine, the new song was approved.
All right, I'll make a motion. I make a motion for appeal 2426 to approve for the Class B area variance request. To convert the commercial space residential units. To approve for the existing, open space overage.
Coverage. They're good on open space, just coverage.
Or coverage, sorry. And for the existing setback,
Front,
well,
front yard setback.
front yard setback, okay. And also to approve for the deficiency of the 4 necessary parking spaces.
Second,
Also.
again, you have 4 yes votes and 1 no vote. Good to go. Good luck. Definitely need more housing, so that'll be good.
And anything going on in that building is gonna be an improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great. Upgrades.
it's clearly not space. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Things, you know.
nice, nice.
That's it. Thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah.
All good, yeah.
In something mail,
Yeah, we'll give
what's, because I don't have any stuff. It's long. Check.
Yeah, that's that.
Thank you, Susan.
Assignments. All right.
Can I ask a question or is that not allowed?
After?
Hello?
No,
Oh,
not right now, right?
No, yeah, if you wait a minute for us to go through our minutes, I'm sure we can chat if you have a question.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just give us one moment.
Okay, I'm pardon.
No, you're fine. I'm looking for a motion to approve the June 15th meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to review and approve the June 15th, 26 minutes as read. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mhm.
I make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
Second.
All in favor?